Rain poured like shattered glass against the earth. Thunder rolled through the misty air as a small boy, barefoot, soaked to the bone, ran between the towering trees, his voice trembling through the forest.
"Mom, please, open your eyes! Please!"
His cries echoed through the night, swallowed by the darkness of the endless jungle. The boy's little hands shook as he tried to wake the woman lying motionless against the damp ground. Her breathing was shallow, her clothes torn and muddy. Her hair clung to her face, heavy with rain. Beside her lay a torn baby blanket. The faint whimper of a newborn came from inside it. The boy, no older than 6, pulled the bundle close, his lips quivering as he whispered, "Don't cry, Lily, Mommy's just sleeping." But she wasn't. Not really. Hours ago, their car had veered off a narrow forest road. Lost. Frightened, and miles from help, the woman had tried to walk toward what she thought was a clearing. But the rain turned the path to mud, and exhaustion stole her strength. Now, under the weeping sky, her son clung to her, refusing to let go. 2 miles away, in a glass-walled office overlooking the city, Alexander Raid, a reclusive millionaire, was staring at the same storm. His coffee had long gone cold, his eyes distant. On his desk lay a worn photograph, a woman holding a little boy, both smiling under the sunlight of another lifetime. That woman was his younger sister, Elena. A year ago, she had disappeared with her son after leaving an abusive marriage. No trace, no call, just gone. For 12 months, Alexander had searched, private investigators, police reports, search parties, nothing. It was as if the earth had swallowed her whole. But something in his chest that night, a restless ache, made him stand up and whisper to himself, one last time. He couldn't explain it. He just knew. The rain hadn't stopped when Alexander's SUV rolled into the outskirts of the national forest. His team had long given up searching here, but he wasn't ready to. Not yet. He drove until the road turned to dirt, until the GPS lost signal, until his headlights caught something that made his heart seize. A tiny figure waving frantically in the downpour. The boy. Alexander jumped out, sprinting through the mud, shouting over the storm, "Hey! Hey, I'm here! Are you okay?" The child turned, face streaked with tears and dirt, clutching the baby close. "Please help my mom. She won't wake up." Alexander's breath caught as he saw the woman lying nearby. His heart nearly stopped. "Elena," he whispered, knees hitting the ground. Her name broke from his throat like a prayer. His trembling hands checked for a pulse. Faint, but there. He looked at the boy again. Those eyes, the same deep hazel as his sister's. You're her son, aren't you?" The boy nodded, voice shaking. "She told me she has a brother who's rich but kind too. She said one day you'll find us." They rushed her to the nearest hospital. The storm still raged, but for the first time in months, Alexander felt light breaking through his heart. Elena survived the night, though she was weak, too weak to speak. The baby, a tiny girl wrapped in a hospital blanket, was placed beside her, sleeping soundly. Alexander didn't leave her side. For days he sat there, watching her breathe, holding the boy's hand. The little one, his nephew, slept against his arm, trusting him as if he'd known him forever. When Elena finally opened her eyes, tears streamed down her face before she could even speak. "I thought I'd never see you again," she whispered. Alexander bent down, pressing his forehead against hers. "I never stopped looking. Not for one day." She wept silently, clutching his hand. "I was scared, Alex. I wanted to come home, but I didn't want to bring my shame with me. I was pregnant and broke. I thought I'd survive alone. But I got lost in that forest. If you hadn't come..." He shook his head gently. "No. If you hadn't kept fighting, I wouldn't have known where to look." 2 weeks passed. The hospital room became a sanctuary of quiet healing. Alexander made sure she had everything: doctors, nurses, comfort, warmth. The boy who once screamed in the forest now laughed freely again. The baby thrived, her tiny fingers curling around her uncle's thumb, as if anchoring him to something he'd long forgotten: love. But Alexander couldn't shake the thought of how close he had come to losing them forever. One evening, as the sun set across the city skyline, he sat by Elena's bed. She watched him silently for a moment before saying, "You could have given up on us. You didn't have to search this long." He smiled faintly. "I wasn't just looking for you. I was looking for myself too." Somewhere along the way, I forgot what family felt like. She reached for his hand. You found us because you never stopped believing. He nodded, his voice thick with emotion. And I'll never let you be lost again. 2 months later, Alexander transformed his vast countryside estate into something different, not just a mansion, but a home. Laughter replaced silence. The once empty halls were now filled with toys, lullabies, and the smell of pancakes on Sunday mornings. He built a small playground under the old oak tree for the boy, now healthy and fearless again. For the baby, he hired the best caregivers and made sure she never lacked a thing. For Alina, he created peace, a world without fear or loneliness. But the biggest transformation was within himself. The man who once hid behind his wealth and walls now lived for something real, people. Sometimes he would still wake at night, hearing that faint echo from the forest in his dreams, the voice of a child crying for his mother. It reminded him why he kept searching, why he refused to let go. And every time he looked at his sister, now smiling again, her children safe in her arms, he knew that moment of desperation had become the turning point of all their lives. The storm had once separated them, but love, unyielding, relentless love, had brought them back together. And somewhere deep within his soul, Alexander realized, sometimes the richest people in the world aren't the ones who have everything, but the ones who refuse to lose the ones they love.